All right. In this video, I was going to talk a little bit about the six human needs. And uh, uh, I guess I'll just say them first. They're certainty, uncertainty slash variety, significance, connection and love, growth, and contribution. And usually at any point in our lives, we focus on two of them. I know when I taught these, I kind of went with certainty and significance. So, because like certainty is like knowing everything and having that certain need for safety, stability, comfort. We try to avoid pain and gain pleasure through these. Like, like starting this, I wanted to know all the stuff that needed to be done. I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted to be certain of it. I wanted to be certain that it would succeed. So I wanted to be certain that I wouldn't be judged. So you always kind of search for things in your life that you already know the answers to. So, and I feel like that's like kind of what I was talking about the other day was the comfort zone. Like people that like to stay in their comfort zone, me being one of them, is because of that certainty that it brings. Because we've already done most of the stuff that we're comfortable doing. So by wanting to be certain, you don't want to go out and do something that you're not sure will succeed, that you're not sure that you're capable of. So, and you're not sure how the results are going to turn out. So, and again, which it's a good thing to be certain. It's kind of like logic. You use logic. You go through everything that could go wrong, might go wrong. All the outcomes that could possibly come if I do this or do that. So you're always thinking about like all the things that go into it. But at the same time, you're also kind of hurting yourself because sometimes life is uncertain. The only thing that is certain is that change. It's just that whether or not you flow with it or you try to fight it, because it's the only thing that's certain is change. And because we're always changing every day, we're always changing every moment. It's whether or not we want to, it's for the good or the bad. Because I was seeing something, I heard something yesterday. I was listening to Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he was talking like you're either growing or you're decaying. So do you want to grow or do you want to decay? And if you're learning and trying to keep doing stuff, the stuff that I'm talking about, and keep moving forward and keep making progress, then you're growing. But if you fight it and you sit around and you don't do anything and you just stay the same and you stay in that comfort zone, then you're just going to decay, and slowly but surely. And that's why I was always talking about consuming and creating. Is if we just keep consuming, then we're not creating. If we're not creating, we're not growing. And if we keep consuming, then it just all keeps piling up, and it just kind of goes in a bad direction. But again, I don't say there's anything wrong with consuming. I'm just saying that you need the balance between the two. Within everything, all these needs, there's nothing wrong with being certain, but you also might want to throw in a little bit of that of number two, which is variety and uncertainty. And that's the need for change and new stimuli. It balances our need for certainty by providing excitement and adventure, like I was saying. So that's the thing, is going out there and trying something new, going out there and doing things you haven't done before, stepping out of that comfort zone and doing things that might scare you. And that's the thing, is that just by doing these things, you'll actually get better at them, and then you'll become certain at them. So, so the best thing is to go do something new that you have never done before. I remember years ago, I just started going to bars by myself and just to try to do something I wasn't comfortable doing. And I never used to go to the movies by myself. I never used to go anywhere by myself. Now I'll go wherever. I mean, I've been on retreats by myself. I'm going to Bali by myself. I mean, yeah, I'm going to meet some people there and on a retreat, but the process of getting there is going to be by myself. And I've never done anything like that before. I'm a little nervous, but since I got to go to two different stops and be there for a while, and find a way to entertain myself for 16 hours. I mean, it's going to be crazy. I've never went on a flight that long, so it's definitely going to be something that I haven't done before, which makes me a little bit nervous because I don't know, because I've never done it before, so I'm not certain. but it's also that need for I know I want to go. I know I want to go for the, you know, excitement and the process and the fun. So again, that's why I was saying like the other day, like, you know, go to one place. Like last year, I went to Reno, Nevada. I've never been there before, and this year I'm going to Bali. So I'm going to try to start going to one new place a year, no matter where it is, how small, how far away, how close, just to say that I did something different. So, and then the third one's significance. So the need to feel important, special, unique, strive for recognition, validation. And so again, I mean, I used to, I don't know if it really was that one. It might have been growth that I was at, but still, significance is, I, I, I do feel the need to be significant. I think we all do. We all want to be seen. We all want to be recognized. We all want to have people know who we are, or, you know, and all that good stuff. But at the same time, I, I, I'm doing this more to, I want to teach what I've learned over the last few years because I feel like it's very valuable for people that want to grow, and I think it's very valuable for where we're headed. Is it significant? Sure. You know, that's for everybody else to decide, not me. But I feel like the information I'm trying to provide is significance and is significant. And I feel like anybody can do this at any point in their life if they really, really, really want to, because again, you're the one that has to make the changes in your own life. Nobody's going to do it for you. You're the one that has to do it. And then through the process, you know that it's not going to be easy. It's not going to happen overnight. You just got to keep chipping away at it little by little, moment by moment, and then see where it goes. I mean, I get frustrated at times too because I do get in patterns where I fall back into old patterns, and then I have to get back on here and start learning and growing and doing stuff that it makes me feel uncomfortable again. And then when you, because you get that point where you stop doing it for a little bit, and then you kind of start to doubt yourself again, and then the little like creeps come in, and then it keeps you a little bit longer. Then finally, you got to be like, listen, I'm done talking. I'm done listening to that ego voice in my head telling me stuff that I don't really agree with. But that's the thing. That's the part of being human, is that we all have that little voice in our head. You know, a lot of people like to call it imposter syndrome lately, and it kind of is. It makes you feel like you're an imposter who would wanna, how can I be significant? So it kind of works right in there. We have that little voice in our head telling us that we're not significant, and then we have to overcome that and realize that we just got to be who we are. And I was seeing something the other day, like somebody saying, "Oh, don't just be who you are because you got more than one person in you," which they're right. But then make sure you show all of those people. That's why I try to be so like, you know, uh, you know, truth telling. Like the words slip in my mind right now, but you know, like authentic with you guys. I just try to tell it how it is, from my own experience, hoping that someone will say, you know, I felt like that before. Oh, okay. I'm not the only one that has to go through these things that he's talking about, because we all do. We're all human. It's just whether or not we decide we want to do something different in that moment, and each from moment to moment, and listen to that, all that imposter syndrome. Listen, you know, listen to all those thoughts in your head that tell you you can't do something, that you're not enough, that you know, oh, maybe they're not going to like what you got to say. All those negative things I used to have in my head, and they still creep in. Like even during my seminar, Dean was saying he's like, I've been doing this for 25 years, and I still get those thoughts. So it's the realization that it doesn't ever go away. You just find better ways to deal with it and handle it better and overcome it. That's all we can do. Because again, it's not like we're going to stop those negative thoughts. They're going to come here and there. You just got to learn not to listen to them and learn to speak your truth and be and do the things you like to do regardless of what anybody else is saying. It's all in here, man. Come from the heart, speak from the soul, you know, and that's what I try to do, and sometimes I forget that and I don't do it. And but then again, other times I just get on here, relax in the moment, and just do what needs to be done and speak and see what comes out. You know, I didn't know where any of this is going to go most of the time. I just try to come out with a little bit of an idea and then go from there. yeah, I probably should have it a little bit more structured at times because there are videos where I kind of go off on tangents and stuff, and I'm like clueless. I mean, today I kind of thought about the six human needs as I was finishing meditation, so I thought I'd talk about it a little bit. But yeah, but anyway, see, tangent. So yeah, we all want to be significant and feel important and strive to be recognized and validation, and it's just part of being human. We just kind of got to learn how to balance all of it. And then connection and love is the fourth one. The need for connection with others through friendships, intimacy, community. Love is the ultimate form of connection, obviously. That's kind of like the definition it gave me. So, again, we all want to be loved. We all want to have good friendships because, I mean, we need to have people. We need to connect with each other. And the crazy part is we're more similar than we ever think we are. Yeah, we all have different needs. Yeah, we all have different desires. Yeah, we all like different things. But at the end of the day, we all strive to be connected. And whether or not we go after that or will admit that is a different story. But what is it if you don't have somebody to share it with? Even getting on here is a connection for me because no matter how many people are on here and how many people watch my videos, I'm still trying to do my best for whoever is on here watching them. And I want to connect with them and I want to have impact on you guys and I want to show you guys what I've learned. And again, it's all about you. It's like what you want to do with the things. It's all about your process, your journey, what you like, what you want to do. It's still and I just come here and hope that maybe a few people will be, even one person's great to say, you know what, maybe he's got something there that I felt that way before, and maybe it helps one person get through something they're going through in their lives. Because again, we're all connected. We're all human beings, no matter what. And sometimes our beliefs and the stuff we've been told and the conditioning and all that stuff gets in the way of this because at the end of the day, we're all human beings, like I've said before, trying to do the best we can at the consciousness we're in, with the way we've been conditioned, what we know, what we believe. And I feel like we need to get back to that, connection and talking. And if we don't agree, well, we don't agree. It doesn't matter. I don't hate you because you don't, like what I have to say or believe in what I have to say. I want to have a conversation about it. There are times in my life where I've had these conversations with people and it's changed my mind. It's changed the way I've looked at stuff. Maybe off the top of my head, I don't remember them, but I do remember them happening. But that's the thing is if we don't have that connection and we don't strive to talk to people and share our lives with each other and grow and stuff and do that, then what are we doing? What are we doing? But and it's just I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I get flack sometimes for that, but that's okay. I always try to see the best in other people, regardless of the bad stuff they do. I mean, obviously, if it's too bad, yeah, you kind of gotta go the other way. But I always hope that people can change, and I believe we can. I just believe we got to have the right direction if we want to. But you're not going to change if you don't want to. So that's the first thing. Like Trent Shelton always says, it all starts with you. So it all starts with what you want to do. I'm just trying to show you that if you really want to make a change, you really want to develop yourself into someone new or someone different, like I am attempting to do, then it can be done because, like I said before, my coach always tells me, like, you're not the same person you were when I started talking to you or started coaching you. And sometimes you forget that because the hardest thing to see is ourselves sometimes because we don't always see the growth. We don't always see the changes. We don't always see the person we used to be or the person we are becoming because we're our own tough critics at times. So again, but we all got to connect with somebody. So and that growth will lead us into the fifth one, which is growth and the need for personal development and learning. We feel fulfilled when we're growing and expanding our abilities, is the definition. So, but that's the thing. Like I always talk about, like you gotta, even though sometimes I've went on retreats and I haven't wanted to go, and and I just feel weird. I get this like weirdness in my body. It's like my body knows I'm about to grow. It's like we don't grow through like being comfortable. We grow through being uncomfortable. I remember the first retreat I ever went on. Like weird stuff happened. I almost didn't make it when I got to Jacksonville, Florida. I wanted to turn around and drive home because the drive down there was so absurd. But I stuck through, and then when I got there, I met this guy, and he's like, "Have you ever been to one of these before?" And I was like, "No, this is my first one." I was like, "How about you?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm a meditation teacher, and I've been through a few of them." And he's like, but I'm going to tell you something right now." He's like, "The person I'm talking to right now is not who you're going to be at the end of the week." And I was like, "Okay," and I didn't say it, I just nodded and smiled, but I was thinking, okay, maybe. And I didn't, I didn't totally believe him, but I thought it was possible. But then like we meditated for 3 and 4 hours a day every day, and then it was like meditation, speaker, another meditation, lunch, speaker, meditate, so it was like it was broken up, but it was difficult. And then like it was weird because that much meditation loosens a bunch of stuff from your like past, and then you kind of like relive it in those nights. Like there was plenty of sleepless nights for me, and it was very uncomfortable when it first started, but at the end of the day I would get over it, and then I would realize something from like my behavior or things I needed to change in myself, and then and then I would keep growing and I'd feel different. And then like I only made sunrise meditation once, and the only reason I made sunrise meditation is because I didn't sleep, because I couldn't sleep because I was releasing so much energy and so much stress, and that's what happens. It gets buried in our nervous system. It gets buried in our unconscious mind, and meditation is that tool, like I was talking about, that like scoops it up and brings it up, which everybody thinks, oh, it's a bad thing. Oh, it's bad. Yeah, yeah, it's not comfortable at times, no doubt, but the after is way better than any of the struggle or pain or uncomfortableness of going through that experience, because it almost lets you're going, because you're releasing that and you're changing your nervous system and you're releasing stuff from your consciousness, because sometimes our bad experiences in our life stick in our consciousness, and the only way to get them out is to use a shovel, which is probably meditation, or emotional freedom tapping's another good one too to use. But that's the thing, is we need that growth. We need that keep learning, keep going, keep doing stuff, keep being uncomfortable. Because and I've noticed in times in my life where I've been unhappy, the most unhappy is when I'm not growing and when I'm not learning. And then I'll go like a few months and I just won't feel right, and then I'll be like, oh my God, I'm not learning. And then I start to learn, and then I start to feel better. And so it's always that growth. We need to keep expanding. We need to keep seeing what we're capable of, because we are capable more. Not probably, we are capable of doing more. But it's just somewhere along the line we might have had somebody tell us we're not, and we believed them. And I've been the same way. I believed it forever. I wish I would have started this stuff 20 years ago, but I didn't, because I didn't believe it. So that's what I'm saying. At any point in time, you can change that belief, that excitement, that joy. You can create it from within. And it's like, I was thinking about this the other day too, is that we all expect the outside stuff to create the feelings on the inside. Like we expect the house, the car, the thing to create that feeling of joy, excitement, and all that. And it does, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't stick. And it comes and goes, because you get a new car, it's nice for a while, but then it's not new anymore. And then you get used to having it, and then it's just a car again. And you get a house, same thing. You get used to living in it. It's just a house again. So you got to go find something else, consume more, consume more, consume more. And when Tony takes us through that priming thing, he like, takes you back to like moments in your life you should be grateful for, or you were grateful for, like the excitement of seeing friends and having a good time. And when you close your eyes and you see that, you feel that. You can feel that. So you can create those feelings on the inside from past experience, or thinking about future ones. Visualize future ones. And that's how you create those feelings from within, and visualize yourself. And when you start to visualize yourself having all these feelings without having anything on the outside, then you start to feel even better. And then like Elmer talks about doing that, like instead of going through your day at the end of the night, instead of thinking about all the things that went wrong during the day at the end of the night, be grateful for everything. See yourself as being better. See yourself as being a different person. Seeing yourself as being joyful, excited, and stuff. He used to do this stuff in prison, of all places. He's like, if you can find happiness in prison, you can find it. Getting out of prison was like, this is easy. So that's the thing is that the more you do that, so if you do that right before you go to bed, then you have 8 hours or whatever of that manifesting in your mind. And then your mind's got 8 hours of saying, hey, we want to feel like this. And then all of a sudden you wake up the next day and you get little intuitions about you should do this, you should do that, we should go here, we should go there. And your mind will create it. Your reticular activating system will create that. It will find the answers if you program it to, but we just haven't been taught that. Neville Goddard talks about it, and the power of assumption is that we got to see it. And that's why I keep saying the more that you see yourself doing these things, the more that you can see yourself visualize, close your eyes and visualize. I used to do it in softball. I'd close my eyes and just see myself making plays, hitting the ball hard, doing these things. And eventually, all of a sudden in games, I was hitting balls harder than I ever had. I was all of a sudden making plays, and I was like, I don't even know how I made that. It was crazy at times, but I seen it in my head, and athletes are starting to do it. And in anything in life, I sit down when I meditate. I see myself sitting in this chair and talking to you guys and letting the energy flow through me. And when I really, really feel that and do that, those are the days when I get on here, and all of a sudden stuff just starts to flow, and you get into that moment. So again, that's why I'm so hard on it, like, because I want people to see that it's possible. I've seen the changes in my life the last 3, 4, 5 years since I've been starting to practice this stuff, and it's crazy sometimes, man. Stuff just comes to me. Like even being on here, I'm getting more comfortable doing it the more I do it. So, but anyway, we need to keep growing. I mean, it sucks because in this day and age, it's like go to school, get out of school, and then no more. I don't want to learn anymore. And it's like you should want to learn the rest of your life. That's the only way that you get fulfilled, total fulfillment. That's why some people aren't fulfilled because they're looking for the fulfillment in different places and the wrong places. And it's only temporary. Where growing and learning is where it's at. And then obviously the sixth one's contribution, the need to give back and contribute something greater than ourselves. It provides a sense of purpose and fulfillment. So again, like I'm saying, this is like my contribution. I want to keep teaching, and I'm going to expand it once I get everything going. And that's the only reason, or part of the reason why I want to make money so I can give more away and do more things and contribute back because why not? You know, uh, I've I just want to share my experiences with all this stuff over the last 20 years and show that it is possible, show that we can all do it, show what we're all capable of more. And I just, like I said, I'm hoping that one person is excited when they watch this video. And obviously, I would like to see more. I would like to see millions of people see this stuff, and I'm hoping that one day I get to that point. It's just that you got to start day by day, moment by moment, little by little, and see what it is. And if it doesn't matter how you contribute anything, even little things here and there, just a conversation with somebody or doing something for somebody, you know, uh, what was I going to say? Like donate money here or help out there or do something for somebody they ain't expecting or just, give back to your community, like anything. We all have the ability to do all these things and we all have the ability to balance all these things, but it's all about where you focus and it's all about what you believe and, and don't be too hard on yourself on all this stuff. I'm just trying to show it there. Trust me, my journey's been long. It's not like all this stuff has changed overnight for me. So again, but it's the journey, not the destination, that brings us happiness. And I think that was from the Peaceful Warrior, and that was the thing that he learned. It's like we always can look for the top of the mountain, that goal, that excitement, that thing we're looking for, that thing that we want. But It's about the journey to get up there that's more important. That's the excitement, and getting on here every day and seeing what comes out is, really what gets me going. And I believe in all of you. I believe you all can do something. I believe we all can do it, and I believe we're all connected. So that's my message for the day, my teaching for the day. Like and subscribe, comment, ask questions, whatever. I'll answer them. And you guys have a wonderful day, and I love you guys.